Hello. Hi there. How's everybody doing? Okay. So first things first, I need to get the list up. Cause I want to have it up. Do 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 do. Okay, so we're at 89 right now. Out of what, 93? Yeah, that tracks. So who are we currently working on? We're gonna go for Spoink, and we're working on Vigoroth to Slaking. That's what we're doing. Okay. I have no idea where we're at, and that's okay. Okay, we're on Moss Deep. We just beat the 7th gym. You can't blame me for wanting to give everyone else a chance to catch up. Yes, I can. I absolutely can. 100%. Okay, so we need a Pokemon that can dive, and I don't want to teach Swampert dive. That's bad. That's a very bad move. It's just water dig. But see, I moved everything around a little bit, so it's more accurate to what it's supposed to be. So we could take Wilmer. You know what? We'll take Carvana. I guess we'll put Spoink up for a little while. Maybe that's the way to go. I've started Nuzlocking Radical Red. I am so sorry. Look, Renegade Platinum was hard enough, but Radical Red is a whole other beast. I got a Cascoon. Buzzing. So I guess you're gonna turn it into a Dustox, and that's gonna be your main, right? There's you know what? Maybe we don't need that many. You know what? That's fine. We'll take 10. Your main is a Mudkip. Well, I hear you like Mudkip, so there are some Pokemon we actually have to get under the Watcher, so might as well go for it. Watch the fish not be able to dive. Maybe I should check just to make sure. No, we need dive. He can. We're good. Let's see. You have no water moves. I guess it doesn't really matter what we get rid of. Do 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 do. Honestly, I don't 100% remember where I'm supposed to be going, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. You know, looking at a map probably would help. Just saying. Let's see, home map. Okay, so this is Sootopolis. I want to say we're supposed to be like right here or something. Honestly, cannot remember. So I'm gonna dive the first actual area I can and just take a look. Now, one thing I found out the last time I actually played through this game, there's actual items down here. You just have to know where to look. And we're gonna need some items, like right here. There should be an item right here. See? There's also a Shrew Mission chat if anybody wants to try and catch it. Okay, before I keep going, I like to explore all the areas. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, we already passed here, so we're here now. We're on the next route. Now, there's no Pokemon here specifically, I think, no, maybe this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Oh, that's where I'm supposed to be. Okay. I figure we could just move on with the story a little bit first before we continue catching, just to get it out of the way. I think that would be best. Let's see here. Is there anything else down here? There's not. Okay. Hey, look, it's that submarine from earlier. It's the seafloor cavern. I don't think there's anything in here that I need, but I could be wrong. I could also look. But where's the fun in that? Ah. Well. Oh yeah, we're good. We have Big Rotha up front, which is who I need up front. So it's all good. $36. Okay, we have a bit of a level jump now. But that's okay. I want to go home. So do I, kid. That submarine, it's tiny inside. I'm so all over. Tiny's inside the submarine? Yo. That explains a lot. Alright, let's just do strength again. I think we'll be alright. Yeah, we're fine. Easy. See, this is the problem with bad guys. They only have 1, maybe 2 Pokemon. When you're allowed 6. It's kind of weird. It's so sad that a Keyblade Master began to steal Pokemon. Huh? Who's stealing Pokemon? I'm not doing that. I'm also not a Keyblade Master. Honestly, not even sure if I'm going the right way. Team Aqua. Oh, I get it now. Okay, so I know going down there is pointless, so let's go up here. That joke was awful. Nah, I thought it was funny. It was awful. I respect it. It is amazing I haven't run into a wild Pokemon yet. Is it this way? It is not. Well, it's bound to happen. Five more levels and we'll have a Slaking, so that's good. So we need to go up. And up. You know, I'll do the battle. It's fine. Well, that's gonna hurt a little bit, but you know, we'll persevere. Damn. Okay. I hurt more than I thought. I'm gonna yawn and put this dog to sleep. That's what we're gonna do. We are super slow, but that's okay though. I'm just gonna try and go for that crit. Easy. Might have to put you to sleep too. Alright, I'm gonna do slack off and hopefully I tank whatever hit you're about to do. We did. Okay, we're good. I might do one more. Just out of fairness.
Hello there.
Gabe, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Ace Squad. Hopefully you're doing well. And also Kagome, welcome in. How are you? Do 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 do. I'm doing well. I'm still a little tired, but that's okay. Doing good. That's great. We love to hear that. We love that here. Also, for those wondering, like what, because I put on Twitter, I made a couple of changes. So this right here, like I kind of pushed those together a little bit, and I also have a new lamp. So I have 2 lamps in here now instead of just the one. Because it was a dark corner, you know? I don't think it was that great. So I fixed that. Alright, so we're 4 levels away from having a Slay King, which is great. This one may be slightly problematic, so we're going to we're gonna yawn. I hope I can tank whatever. Never mind. That might be bad. Let's do Braylon. Let's go Mach Punch? Question mark? Okay. We're good. Oh, it is Shelly. Right. That's why our Pokemon are a little bit tougher. That makes sense. Everything's kind of making sense now. Listen, my attack's still pretty. Never mind. That's not great. That's not great at all. Now it's good. Now we're +1. I just gotta not hit myself. That'd be great. What did I just say? Listen, Braylon, I'm gonna need you to snap out of it, cool? Oh, we're in a bad spot. Well, at least this ain't a Nuzlocke. I'd be sad right now. Alright, we'll bring in the big guns. And we're gonna drown this doggo with a surf. Damn you, Shelly. Ouch. Alright, do I have any revives? You know, in retrospect, I probably should bump all my items up top. That would probably be useful. Run to hype. Nah, we haven't done any of those in forever. Damn, I don't have any revives. Oh, that's not fun. Do I really want to leave this cave just to go get revives? Not really. You know what? We'll just go at Archie with 3.5 Pokemon.
Hello there.
Magnus, welcome in. How are you? Hello there. Me almost forgetting how this puzzle works. Waterfall? Earthquake. Can Swampert learn Earthquake by itself? I can't remember. I'm alright, how are you? Oh, you know, I'm doing things and stuff, and I'm gonna have to save, because I don't know if I can do this fight. 2 of my mons are dead. I don't have any revives. It'd be like that, though. Hold it right there. I still don't know what this noise is. Foo foo foo. I don't know what that's supposed to be. So it was you after all. Behold. See how beautiful it is. The sleeping form of the ancient Pokemon Kyogre. I've waited so long for this day to come. It surprises me how you've managed to chase me here. But it's all over now. For the realization of my dream, you must disappear now. Hey, 59 to go. Still wants that cooking stream. It's bound to happen. At 52. Okay, so I'll save Earthquake for somebody else. Ew, that's not a good matchup at all. Okay, you're gonna go for a dark move. That's pretty obvious. Yeah, I've got 2 Pokemon I realistically can be using. Oh, goody. I mean, I could take advantage of that attack boost. I said we go for it. Yeah, I'm in trouble. I have healing items, so if I need to use them, I will. Hey, I have that too. And now I'm +2 attack. Draw on the doggo. Pog. Alright, Crobat. Don't kill, don't kill, don't kill, don't kill, don't kill. Alright, we're gonna have to heal up after this attack. Doesn't matter if it kills or not. Freeze? I didn't think so. I'm gonna need a reminder to go get healing items and stuff. Hey, they did a super potion too. Yeah, that's about right. I think the last Pokemon's Sharpedo, but I can't remember. Come on, you can do it. They can't do it. This is bad. We're in a very bad spot. That is a dead Swampert. Oh, thank God. Freeze? The freeze would have helped so much. There's a pine kill and chat if you want to try and catch it. I'm so low on healing items, this is bad. Well, if I do bite it here, I get more healing items because I'm gonna go buy more. Oh my God, why? Oh, thank God. It is Sharpedo. Okay, we're going to swap into Carvana so I can heal up Swampert a little bit. +2 attack be damned. Listen, I was gonna try and drop its defense, but alright, sure. Alright, now I will heal. We're not gonna mess around, we're just gonna heal. That's totally fine. I'm okay with that. You really want me to attack, huh? Man, if this goes through. I was like, if it goes through, it's gonna drop the defense. Okay. What do we have? Alright, I just need this to go through, okay? Gotta pop out and do errands. I'll be lurking. Enjoy adulting with your errands. That's fun. Gotta love it. We're not doing good here. All I have are attacking moves, so that's not an issue. Seriously. Can y'all, like, actually hit, please? The opponent, not yourself. Bro. Archie's cheating. I don't have any other healing items, do I? I have an energy powder. That is it. This is stupid, dude. How could you be that unlucky, you know? It's gonna hit himself again, aren't you? Yep. I lose because it's gonna do crunch or something stupid. I don't even think I have... Did I put Shockwave on you? I put Thunderbolt. I'm hoping for the best here, but I don't think this is enough to kill anyway. Well, that was lucky. Lost to a mere child. You know what? I'm honestly surprised I won. Tuskar, welcome in. Thank you for the contribution to the Breath of the Wild Master Mode Challenge. How's it going? I commend you. I must recognize that you were truly gifted, but I have this in my possession. With the red orb, I can make Kyogre. It did its own thing. Yeet. What? I didn't do anything. Why'd the red orb... Where'd Kyogre go? I'm good. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm not awake yet 100%, but we're getting there. That's a message from our members outside. Yes, what is it? It's raining heavily. Good. That should have happened. That's why we awakened Kyogre. To realize Aqua's vision of expanding the sea. What? It's raining far harder than we envisioned. You're in danger. This can't be. That's just not possible. Hold your position and monitor the situation. Okay. And we're back over here now. There's something wrong. The red orb is supposed to awaken and control Kyogre, but why? Why did Kyogre disappear? Why? What have you wrought? Archie, you finally awoken Kyogre, haven't you? What will happen to this downpour continues for all eternity? The world's landmass will drown in the deepening sea. What? Don't get all high and mighty with me. Wasn't it you, Team Magma, that infuriated Groudon? So long as I have this red orb, I should be able to control Kyogre. I should be able to control it. We don't have time to argue about it here. Get outside and see for yourself. See what you've wrought. See if what you've wrought is the world that we desire. Come on, you have to get out of here too. Those Puppet Master units can be brutal. I don't know which one those are, MJ, but welcome in. How are you? What happened? What is this wretched scene? Did I make a horrible mistake? I only wanted... Do you understand now? Do you finally see how disastrous your dream turned out to be? We have to hurry. We have to do something before the situation goes completely out of control. Look, don't say anything. I know I have no right to be critical of Archie, but the way things are now, I doubt that we humans will be capable of doing anything about it, but neither can we stand by and just watch helplessly. The responsibility for putting an end to this falls on to Archie and me. This defies belief. Those super ancient Pokemon. Their power is unbelievable. They've upset the balance of nature. But wait, there's more. Ace, what's happening? This is terrible. After the scorching heat wave ended, this deluge began. If this doesn't stop all of Hoenn, no, the whole world will drown. This huge rain cloud is spreading from above Sutopolis. What in the world is taking place there? There's no point in arguing here. Sutopolis might provide answers. Ace, I don't know what you intend to do, but don't do anything reckless. Okay, I'm going to Sutopolis. Yeet. That control a unit on our side, even our epic units. Oh. Well, that should be fun. Looking forward to it. And thank you for the epic unit. Okay, so where are we currently? I need the Pokénav, not bag. Okay, we're down here. We need to get over here to Route 126 to go to Sutopolis. Also, the card came in. Nice! Well, that's great news. There's also an Apom in chat if anybody wants to try and catch it. All we have left is a Gardevoir. I gotta be careful. I really thought we were gonna lose that fight, but we didn't. I got lucky. Okay, we're gonna dive here. It's one of Ace's first signatures. That is true. I've never actually signed anything before. Okay, where are we in terms of the map? We're exactly where we need to be. Yeah, so for those who don't know, MJ had me sign his card, which, you know, I am totally okay with doing. I have no problem with that. So if anybody wants me to sign any cards for giveaways, I can. I just have to make sure to do that signature the same way every single time. I tried doing my whole name and I can't write in cursive, turns out, so it's probably best I don't. I miss the Reggie puzzles in this game. Yeah, we're gonna have to get to that eventually. Be worth $1 million one day. I don't know about that. I gotta come up with a, I need to go up further, don't I? I gotta come up with a, Wailord and a Relicanth before I can start the puzzles. I know that. Do 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 do. That item's not worth it right now, especially because I only have one Pokemon. Do 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 do. Okay. You know what? We're back in Moss Deep. This is a great chance to heal up and stuff. I was trying to get to Sutopolis so I can heal there and do items there, but you know what? That's fine. We'll just heal up here. Do 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 do. Alright, and now we're gonna buy healing items because I'm out. And I should probably sell some stuff too while I'm at it. Let's see here. We can sell this. We can sell this. Is there anything else? I think we need to hold on to everything else. I should probably box some items too while I'm at it. Like the miracle seed and all that. Probably would not hurt. Wrong box. Need to go to my box. Deposit. Alright, let's see here. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Box that. Box that. We'll box those and box that. Okay. And we're gonna bump these to the top. I feel like that's the only acceptable thing to do. And I think we're gonna rearrange this a bit. And we'll put the burn heal underneath the antidote. What the hell? We'll do that too. That's... Yeah, they, they're doing it to spite me. You should also look at the Tyranitar line. I gotta deal with that. Okay. That's what I was asking. Why did they do that? But they either resubbed or gifted subs, so I had to honor it. Okay, so we need to get over to the west. Do 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 do. The sunlight's strong. It is bright out here. Okay, so man, I don't always ever remember how to get over. And there's not like a super obvious like way to know that you're where you're supposed to be. I'm doing my best though. The encounters honestly are not helping, so maybe I should go ahead and use one of those repels since, I mean, I'm not trying to catch anything over here anyway. I think it's here. Yeah, the repel didn't help much, did it? Do 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 do. Here we go. Now where we're supposed to be.
Is it crazy how saying sentences backwards creates backwards sentences saying how crazy it is?
MJ, you just broke my brain, but thank you so much for the resub at 8 months. Goodness gracious. And you do get to claim a Pokemon if you want. You don't have to. But goodness. I'm just saving real quick because I gotta do a thing. Okay. I am Yamper. We're gonna name it to Waddles. It's gonna be a long time before we get to Gen 8, but any Gen 8 games that I do, I'll name it that as well.
MJ Durlac
Okay, but
gifted
why,
a tier
though?
1 sub to Felino.
Okay, but why though? Don't do that. You stop that. And you get to claim another one, but stop that. Bolton. We're gonna name it Gumpers. Okay. And those also carry on to Gen 9 and anything afterwards, so don't worry about that. I'll take care of that later, though. Oh, okay. Well, we're doing stuff real quick, aren't we? Need to lock them in early before Moopa ruins it. You're not wrong. Okay. I gotta do 2 things. I am very sore, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, headphones gotta come off. That's for sure. They're gonna fall anyway. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my push-ups somehow. And I think I need to move this a little bit. I'm guessing the cats have been messing with it. There goes the speaker. Ooh. It froze. Hold on. Not cool. Okay. I'll have to worry about the speaker later. To be fair, by the time you're done, we'll probably be on to Gen 10. Maybe. I also need to get my DS back from Europe for the capture card. Alright, here we go. You can't, wait, living decks, you can't rush through them. I mean, I can try. Gen 4 is going to be a thing, trying to get Munchlax and all that, but honestly, I'm just transferring over to Snorlax. We ain't doing that whole, trying to find a Munchlax in a tree. It's not worth it at all. Okay. Okay, did that. Let's go on ahead and let's open up a booster pack. That'll be fun. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the controller off too. Don't want to run down the battery. Battery. I need Irian. Oh, 2 Scars jumping ahead. That's okay. That is a good reminder. We are doing that fun game, Guess the Energy. All you have to do is guess what energy you think it's going to be. And if you're right, awesome. And if not, you know, it's okay. There will always be next time, don't you know? Okay. All right. Let's do the thing. Okay, I want to try and keep this one intact, if I can, just so I can add it to the wrappers that I have in the binder already. This one's not great. Hello? Why are you not open? Okay, fine, we'll do it like this. I still have a few more Moltres, so it's fine. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, so we got Dark Fire and Water. I'm gonna go Fighting. We're gonna go Fighting. Psychic. That's okay. Okay, we got Dynatree Hill. We got Justified Gloves. We got Lucky Energy. Okay. I'm gonna put that back here for some luck. Put it over there. There we go. That way it's in the shot too. Alright, we got a Ralts. We got a Bound Sweets. We got a Lapras. We got an Aeron. We got a Blitzel. The reverse is a Weezing. And the rare... Ooh, we got a Calyrex. Gotta love that lucky energy, baby. You know what? Honestly, that's fitting. Check it out. See? I'm okay with that. We didn't have Calyrex, and now we do. I will take it. That's pretty. Okay. Totally worth. That was a good pack. You achieved lucky energy. Or you activated lucky energy. Yes. I mean, we've gotten lucky energy before. And we got something good out of it. I don't remember what we got. It was like last week or the week before. But, you know. It comes in handy. It really does. Alright. Let's get back over here. I have to turn the controller back on, so it's gonna be a second. But we'll get there. Okay. I forgot I can't hold B, so you can't run underwater if you didn't know. Okay, so I'm gonna look for other items that could potentially be down here. Because we're gonna need shards and stuff. Usually it's a bum item, but in a challenge like this, you kind of need them. Imagine if the bicycle worked. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get a ROM hack of the game where the bicycle works underwater. There's also a Dustox in chat if you might try and catch it. Honestly, I don't know if I have that one or not. I feel like I do. I do. Sky, you should try and catch all of them. All the Dustox that you can. Also, trying to get Pokemon down here sucks. It really does. What do you mean, no need? You should catch as many Dustox as you can. They already are all mine. Unless MJ gets that one. Just saying. Okay, so that's the cave that we're supposed to go into. Okay, we get a big pearl. Okay, but speaking of pearl, we got clan pearl. Which we need 3 of these, if you didn't know. Then MJ's just borrowing my Dustox, isn't it? Or in it, sorry, in it. Do, 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 do. We'll use a dive ball. Do, 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 do. We got a clan pearl. So this is number 90. Cool. Gonna sell it for cash. I'll still own it. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's how any of that works. So we need 3 clan pearl and 2 chinchou that I remember being down here. I don't remember what else is down here, I'll be honest. Might as well just go for the Pokemon now. See, it takes forever to find Pokemon down here. Okay, there's chinchou. It's definitely a lower level, which is not great. Morning. Good morning, Tiny. How are you? Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Look who's late. It's true, Tiny is kind of late. And JP coming in at the same time as Tiny. Look at that. It's crazy. It's like y'all conspired to do that at the same time or something. And I'm paralyzed. I don't like that. Do 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 do. Imagine being late. I'm not late. You're just early. All right, we get Chinchou, number 91. Okay, also not nicknamed, and that's okay. Stop living in the past. No. It is 9 a.m. here. This is true. Okay, so I do not have any paralyzed healing berries, which is not great. I mean, I have a full heal. Is it worth it? I guess so. It's worth. I don't wanna. Do. Give me Pokemon. God, hunting underwater sucks. It really does. You can't go fast. I think that's part of the problem. Because when you go faster, you're more likely to like stir up Pokemon. But that doesn't exist underwater. Hello? Do. Okay, there's Clan Pearl number 2.
I'm in danger.
No, we're not wasting the Master Ball. In fact, I needed to just deposit the Master Ball. Alright, Clan Pearl number 2. I can't mark that one off yet, but that's okay. We'll deal with that later. Yes, MJ picked up Bolton and Yamper. Alright, there's Clan Pearl number 3. I think that's all that's down here, but I could be wrong. This is a much lower level. Do you guys think there's a goofy version of TikTok by Kesha? There's a Donald Sings Bring Me to Life. It's not as good though. I'll be honest, it's not. I don't even push for those redeems. Nah. Slim does though. Kesha is a member of Mensa. I don't know what that means. But we got our 3rd Clan Pearl. And I'm okay with that. I don't know what... Okay, I'm just gonna do 127. Maybe 126, maybe that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so there is a Relicanth that we need under here too. It means she's super smart. Oh, okay. Press X to doubt. Honestly, I thought you were just doing a play on her name. I had no idea. Oh, there's Relicanth. Cool. She's great. Yeah, she sings and she talks in her songs. It's great. It's the best. Do 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 do. Haha! Can't put me to sleep, baby. Oh, you don't have recoil damage. Interesting. I'm working OT today and dreading it. Ugh. See, I don't do OT anymore. I can't do that anymore. You fool! Alright, we're gonna try and just go for it. Come on, Relicanth. Let's be number 92 if we can get it. Do. We'll do a netball then. How about that? A netball. Honestly, the netball looks awesome. Okay, I think I have to go a little bit lower with the HP. That's fine. Okay, we're in the yellow, so we're at 50%. So we'll try again. Luckily, I did grab 10 dive balls, so that helps a little bit. Or not. Do. We just need one more Chinchou as well. 2, 3. There we go. 92. The longevity Pokemon. Okay, but why though?
MJ Durlac gifted a tier 1 sub to Venarian_.
Okay, but why though? You just wanted me to do a wheel spin, didn't you? That's what it is. And yes, if you're not following MJ, please drop a follow. Great variety streamer. Alright, so currently we are looking for one more Chinchou, I think. I think that's what we're looking for. Do, there's Chinchou, do. And this is the last Pokemon we need down here, so that's great. I think the cats are wilding right now. Oh god. Let's go ahead and heal up. Slack Off is great on Vigoroth, but it's bad on Slakoth and Slaking. It really is. Because of their ability. More? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Tiny. Do. Hog. Alright, so we are done underwater. Heard your cat's meowing. Oh, I can't hear. It's a little hard to hear with headphones on. Alright, we ready? Let's go. Cutscene. This was so cool in 2005. You don't even know. I'm pretty sure Kyogre wins automatically. Just saying. Groudon is completely surrounded by water. Okay, so we want to go to Sootopolis. How do you get to Sootopolis from here? Okay. There is one Pokemon I can get that I don't already have. Yeah, it's still connected. We good. Come on. Do 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 do. Crap baskets. That's not it. All that effort for a Magikarp. Ooh, a bite. A Pokemon's on the hook. There it is. It only took 2 tries, so that's not terrible. But level 37 might be bad. Why are we faster? That doesn't seem right. I also don't like the fact that you have Dragon Rage. That's kind of scary. Alright, and Water Onyx falls asleep. Let's heal up. Oh, it didn't work. Have I not caught Magikarp yet? I don't have it marked down. Okay. I can yawn at least one time. That shouldn't kill. Alright, so we'll do Slack Off. We'll heal up. And no matter what he does, we shouldn't die. $28 units, wow. Y'all crazy. We'll do a netball. Or not. Maybe we'll do a another slash. It's amazing how I have not gotten a single crit. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. I knew it. Ah. I may switch over to Ultra Ball. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Yes. I think that's 93? Question mark. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That would be why. I was about to say. Why have I not caught Magikarp yet? Okay. There's Water Onyx. Now we can go heal up. And then we'll switch over. There's also a Rookie D in chat if anybody wants to try and catch it. Water Onyx gave me some problems. But we figured it out. I figure we should probably go through the box real quick and organize it a little since I have caught a few Pokemon. Kind of get that out of the way. So let's see. You know what? We'll start with water onyx. That'd be best. Because that one's an easy one. I know that one. The rest of these, I don't know. Alright, 170 and 171. So right here. Nope. Right here. I mean, I only have to go over 3 pages, so it's not that big of a deal. But still. Alright, then that leaves Clam Pearl and Relicanth. Okay, so 366 through 368. We haven't been on this page yet. Look at that. Guess I only have to go over 3 pages this way too, or 4. It's not terrible. And then Relicanth is number 369. So it's actually right after, so that's convenient. And we are going to need Relicanth for a puzzle later on. So that's a thing too. Okay. Do 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 do. Breeding is going to be a pain, but you know what? It's okay. Alright, so we're all good with this. Let's go ahead and continue the story. That's not what I meant to do. It'd be like that. Steven! It was Pokemon fighting, Groudon and Kyogre. The two super ancient Pokemon were awakened from a long sleep, and now they are smashing each other with their uncontrollable energy. You being here now, I'll take to mean that you're prepared to become involved in the crisis. Well then, there's someone that I'd like you to meet. Come with me. Actually, no, I wanted to take on the 8th gym. I'm trying to get my badges. You see, I don't know about all this stuff about like saving the world and stuff. Listen, does seeing Groudon and Kyogre make you think Pokemon are to be feared? But that's not true. Pokemon are really more... Why am I asking you this? You already know. Listen, I just wanted to be a champion. I didn't want to save the world. Alright, I'm just a kid. I'm like 10 or something. I don't know. Okay, here we are. Inside you'll find someone named Wallace. I think you have what's needed to help him. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means at all. Is there anything in here that we need? Technically, yes. If they pop up, sure. And if not, it's not a big deal. Like I said, not a big deal. Ah, so you're Ace. I've heard tales of your exploits. My name is Wallace. I was once the gym leader of Sutopolis, but something came up, so now I've entrusted my mentor Juan with the gym's operation. Groudon and Kyogre, the two Pokemon wreaking havoc here, are considered to be super ancient Pokemon. But there aren't just two super ancient Pokemon. There is one more somewhere. Somewhere, there is a super ancient Pokemon named Rayquaza. It's said that it was Rayquaza that becalmed the two combatants in the distant past, but even I have no clue as to where its whereabouts. Do you perhaps know where it is now? If you do, please tell me. The Sky Pillar? That's it! It must be Sky Pillar. There's not a moment to lose. We'll head to Sky Pillar right away. You're not going to take me with you and I have to go find it myself, jerk? I don't like you, Wallace. Show me Golbat. That ain't Golbat. There's like a 10% chance I'm actually gonna find a Golbat, so it's not worth. Wallace? Yeah, Wallace. The Sky Pillar. I've never been there. I wonder where it could be. Oh no. I'm sorry, 1 second. I'm kicking y'all out of here. Y'all are fighting. The answer is no. Okay. So now we need to, man, I probably should have gone to Pacifidog Town first, but I didn't. That's okay though. Magnus, you missed the marbles race that we did for the gifted sub, but it be like that sometimes. I guess I could go pick up berries too, and there's berries over here if I remember right. I think. Maybe I'm mistaken. I could have sworn there were berries over here. I was wrong. Okay, so we're done here. I do have a sub though, but I said that well, the rule with the marbles for the gifted sub is the person that wins overall, they get to decide what they do with that. They can either hold on to it for the next, like when it's time to resub, or they can gift it to a specific person, or they can gift it out randomly. So it's not like it's a total loss. So there's 3 options. No more marbles. Not for the gifted sub, no, unless the Wheel of Punishment lands on it again. But we'll probably do marbles in about an hour or so, because you know I have to eat at some point. Do 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 do. No eat, no sleep. No sleep till da 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 Brooklyn. I think Magnus just wants me to do a 24-hour stream. I don't know if I could do a 24-hour stream. MJ's done it. I don't think it's for me though. Maybe one day I'll take a crack at a subathon or something, but I can make Alice in Persona 4 at level 79. She gets an ability called Die For Me that kills most enemies instantly. Interesting. All I want is cooking stream. I mean, we're inching our way towards the cooking stream. Hello. I think I'm going the right way. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Tiny, let's make 59 fake accounts together. No, because that didn't benefit from anything. I want legitimate growth, not cheating. Come on. There's Polyper. How that gonna benefit? That's not gonna benefit at all. Do 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 do. I didn't want to fight. What a surprise! We should battle. No. How is the kitchen in your new place? Much more. It's not much more spacious, but I like it better. If and when we do the whatchamacallit, cooking stream, you'll get to see it. Oh, that hurts. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do the stream though. I don't have a laptop or anything, you know? It might be just streaming from my phone. Honestly, it just varies. It's hard to say. There's a Nickit in chat. Maybe I was trying to catch it. Little fox. Okay, where is this place? It's right here. I better go to Pacific Dogtown. Let's get that registered on the map. Damn. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, Ace, how do you do? This is Rose speaking. I'm happy for you. So basically, 1 week you get 5, another week 0. Basically. And then of course, you know, some accounts get deactivated, some people unfollow. So I mean, it's up and down. It happens. We made it to Pacific Dogtown. Do do do. Do 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 do. Which we're gonna have to use this later on, but not right now. I also can't run here, which is sad. Got him. You did. Good job. No idea how, but you get followers on days you're not streaming. Well, that's also from, like, spreading the word about, you know, videos and stuff. Or, you know, getting shouted out in somebody's stream or something. It happens. So if y'all want to help promote the stream, definitely, you know, share the videos and stuff with people, with friends, or, you know, on your own personal accounts, you know. Just spreading the word gets the word out. Do 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 do. Cool. We are at the Sky Peeler. Sharing clips is always helpful too. This is true. There's some funny clips in there. Which bike do I have? Oh, good. I wanted to register it, not actually use it right now. I don't think I need it right this second, but... Oh my, oh my. I'm terribly sorry. In my haste, I didn't notice that I'd left you behind. I've opened the locked door of Sky Pillar. Let's be on our way. It's an earthquake. There's not a moment to waste. We gotta hurry. Situation's gotten worse. This isn't good. The weather distortion is spreading even here. Rayquaza should be farther up from here. I'm worried about Sutopolis. I've got to go back. Everything's in your hands now. Don't fail us. We're putting the fate of the planet in your hands. Don't fuck it up. You stupid kid. That's what I heard. Anybody else hear that? Do do do. Ooh, tomorrow we get to start a new game. Are y'all excited? Do 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 do. It was an overwhelmingly one-sided vote for what type of game we were gonna play in the poll in the Discord. What's the new game gonna be? I mean, if I told y'all what it was.
Sit-ups, and plenty of juice.
Okay, but why though? Why you make me do stuff? I'm already sore as it is. All right, let me get up to the top and then we'll do the plank. All right, there's clay doll. We do need a clay doll. Are you, Magnus? Are you sorry? I don't think you are. I think you're lying. Streech too. What a butt, dude. You took out my Pokemon. Jerk. I needed that. There's Altaria. We also need an Altaria. Did you just prevent me from not putting you to sleep? Nope, now you did. Luckily I did yawn before. Come on, Altaria. 1, 2, 3. Pog. First try. Alright, so... this is 94, I believe. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Well, now I'm kind of, I want the clay doll. I don't want to leave until I see it. Again. That's Sableye. We don't need Sableye. What else is up here? No. Wow, Altaria was a 6% spawn. There's 3 Pokemon here we need. And that ain't it. 2 of which we have not seen. Am I stalling to not do the plank? Absolutely. I'm probably going to do it after Stream Raiders, to be honest. Okay, there's Clado. This is a 19% chance to encounter. It's also the highest level. Okay, do not blow up. Okay, I'm okay with that. I can vibe with that. That's so lame, dude. But how are you supposed to catch him? Okay. We also need Banette, which I can't even hit with Vigoroth because it's a ghost type. But I could do... Oh, it has Insomnia. That's not fun. Okay. What are my options then? I'm thinking we go with Breloom. That's fine. We'll do Leech Seed, get its health down a little bit. And Ultra Ball, go, baby! 2, 3. I figured it'd be too easy. Do 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 do. Bum, ba, da, da. So this would be 95 if I have my math right. Come on. I need you on the team, kid. No, I need you on the team. Oh, that's not good. I don't know if it'll live this. It might, but it might not. Okay, this is my last chance. Come on. Intense battle, it is. Yes. 95. I will take it. Okay, so we're still missing Claydol and Golbat. There's Golbat, which we do need. I know it says we caught it, but that's because we evolved a Zubat into a Golbat into a Crobat. And the only thing we were missing is the Golbat for the living deck, so. Do 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 do. Speed tie, maybe? Do 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 do. Look, I'm gonna need you to just get in the ball, okay? Get in the ball. I'm already burned. I didn't do what Blaine said and pack a burn heal. That was on me. Come on, go back. Get in the ball. Stupid bat. Haha! You fool! Don't die yet, don't die yet, don't die yet. Yes. Okay, we got the yawn off. That's the important thing, we got that. Alright, Vigoroth's dead though. That's okay. We will manage. Okay, I'm 6 levels ahead. You know what? We're just gonna we're just gonna do the Ultra Ball. It's fine. 2. Poopy. How dare you crit? Very rude. I almost put Rayloom out. That would have been bad. Come on, Golbat. Dude! Golbat's a little bitch, isn't it? Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that you're not a little bitch. Get in the ball. There's a Hitmonlee and Shatterman. Let's try and catch it. Golbat not giving up. Not letting you down. Not gonna go around and hurt you. Shoot. Dude, everything I got will either die to it instantly or... God damn. Of course it would choose wing attack. Why are you being a little bitch? Get in the ball. It's trying to piss me off. Of course you flinched. Okay, stop. At least it didn't have leech life, I guess. That's fine. I did at least a little damage to it. Do 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 do. Okay, now let's try. Get in the ball. 1, 2, 3. There we go. You silly Hitmonlee. It'd be like that though. Okay. Cool. Oh, Golbat though. What a pain, dude. Okay, so we're gonna try and go for Claydol. It's the only one we need left. That's not Claydol. Also not Claydol. That's Golbat. Already a problematic Pokemon to deal with. Okay, Claydol. Listen, buddy. I need you to do me a favor. Do not self-destruct. Okay, good. I will take that. Even if it kills me, that's fine. And asleep. Easy. Let's go strength. Okay. Now we're gonna go for it. So this will be 97. Perfect. I thought that one was a little off color. I was like, oh my god, it's a shiny, but it's not. It's Shinron. Hey, Shinron, I'd like to make a wish, please. Oh. Now I don't get to make my wish. I wish I was a fish. Rude. They're still out here fighting. More doing a stare down than anything else. Hi, I'd like to talk to y'all about your car's extended warranty. They said no. Alright, fine. I'm going home. Now we go heal. I might be in trouble here because the levels on my Pokemon are kind of little under what they should be. So the super ancient Pokemon weren't only Groudon and Kyogre. After our fruitless scheming and frantic efforts, that once Pokemon's simple action put everything right again, as if nothing had happened. Kyogre and Groudon both flew off to who knows where. The weather in Hoenn has returned to its normal state. Maybe what we were trying to do was something small, even meaningless to Pokemon. My eyes didn't deceive me. Thanks to your help, Sutopoulos. No, all of Hoenn was saved. On behalf of the people, I thank you. This is a gift from me. Please accept it. Waterfall! You know, they say you're not supposed to go chasing waterfalls. Apparently they just are given to you, though. If you have the Rain Badge, a Pokemon that has learned the H move, or HM move, can force its way up waterfalls. And where does one get the Rain Badge? You know, don't you? That's right, you have to beat the Sutopoulos gym leader. When you're all set to go, step through that door. Looks like both Maxie and Archie have gone away somewhere. Perhaps they've gone to Mount Pyre to return those orbs. Spoiler alert, they have. Do-do-do-do-do. I'll show you the sublime techniques I learned from our leader Juan. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's a love disc. That may be problematic. And now I'm confuzzled. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It did the flail. Haha! Oh, we got a crit. I will take it. Do 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 do. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Do 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 do. Please forgive me, Juan. Think of the epic unit. I should teach you how harsh battles can be. I'd rather you not. Also, I don't understand. This is the water gym, and yet it's an ice puzzle. It's a Goldeen. Not even a Sea King, just a Goldeen. Because by that point, it should be a Sea King. You better not have Horn Drill. I'll be sad. Okay, Fury Attack, sure. Yeah, sure. Horn Attack is fine. Alright, I'm gonna heal up, and then we'll go slash again, see if we can get a crit. We cannot, but that's okay. We still win. Oh my, you're strong. Strunk. Easy puzzle. If you couldn't tell, yes, I am doing this on purpose. There's also a Ditto in chat if you might want to try and catch it. It could be anything. Another love disc. One level below the one we just fought. Went for flail again. And sweet kiss again. That's about right. Okay, well, it's asleep, so that's good. Okay, listen, Vigoroth. You're supposed to hit the fish. That's not good. I was afraid of that. Alright, we got rid of one status affliction, only to be given another. Come on, you can do this. There you go. What a butt, dude. Come on. Damn it. Tiny, can we get a poll going for the lunch thing? Marbles or words on stream? 10 minutes. I was kind of hoping that would have done more damage, but it's fine. I should have just gone with Mach Punch. I was trying to heal up. I don't know if it's going to, Okay, it's fine. I healed up. We're good. Alright, there is a poll in chat. It's right there, you see? Just vote on which one we should do. Y'all are in charge. Either marbles or words on stream. I believe in you. You got these. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and yawn now. I was gonna heal, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to now. Haha, you still go to sleep though. That's what you get. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. $15,000. That's a lot of money. I can battle with really rare Pokemon if you'd like. Alright, sure. That is a rare Pokemon. It's totally your prerogative if that's the way you want to go. Pagarino. Is there a Melodic coming out? Nope. Just two Phoebus. It'd be like that. Seriously. Can we not? There's really not that much experience to split if I swap, so just crit slash and we'll be done with it. Never mind, doesn't even have to be a crit. Just kill it. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. A graceful glide across the ice while crossing no lines. A trainer putting on that performance would be elegantly beautiful. I'm gonna be beautiful! Do 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 do. Easy. Sharpedo, on the other hand, might be a problem. Maybe, I don't know. It also has Slash, so... I still one-shot it, I will take that. We take those. Oh, it was so close. Excuse me, princess. You came all the way here, but you won't get to see Juan. Not if you lose to me, you won't. It's not necessarily true. Can I get a crit? No. That's okay though. While I'm thinking about it, we're also gonna have a video drop on Friday, the 17th, this upcoming Friday, so be on the lookout for that. It'll be on the YouTubes. Oh, we're doing rest, okay. Cool. We'll just do 2 strength and be done with it. Yeah. Or not. We're not done yet. It'd be like that. Do, 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 do. I didn't know you could see me all the way down there. Alright, sure. Azumarill. I don't think we gotten that one yet. Alright, there's about 4 more minutes in the poll. Don't forget to vote if you haven't already. Can we get a crit, please? Oh, God. Alright, so this next one's gonna do 30 health, I think, or 30 damage. I think that's how it works. It just doubles every single time. What a high level you are. Actually, no, I'm pretty underleveled at this point. I'm hoping I can get a Slay King before I fight Juan. That'll help a lot. Giggle! Your grim look is so charming. Well, thank you. I do my best. There's Sea King. What do you think it's seeking? Ultimate power, maybe? Ooh, I'll take it. That might hurt a little. Okay, we're at 35. We need one more level. Can we do it? I don't know. Still got these two trainers. I trained my Pokemon together with Juan. Don't think I'm a pushover. I never said it. Alright, Clan Pearl. We got 3 of those. Whirlpool. We're trapped in the Whirlpool, but I think it goes away if Clan Pearl dies. I could be wrong. Corphish, okay. It did. Okay, we're good. Let's go with Slash. Oh, I'm glad that missed. Shoot. Alright, there's about a minute left in the poll. Lombre. Let's go with Slash first. I'm surprised it didn't go with Fake Out. They usually go with Fake Out. Alright, I think we'll have it. Just gotta heal up once. When I'm with my Pokemon, the time flies before you can say, oops! Oh yeah, we got it. Tail Whip? Wasn't like that. At least it didn't do Charm. I can at least say that. Alright, so we're gonna do Marbles again, sure. Lucas, how's it going? Welcome in. I'm gonna go Slash. Okay, I'll take it. This is my entrance noise. How are we doing? I mean, everybody needs an entrance noise, I feel like. Sometimes, you know, you want to go off with a bang. But I'm doing all right. We are at the 8th gym. And as you can see, we are about to get a slaking. I see what you did there. Only hardcore fans will understand. I don't think I'm killing the Azumarill all by myself. I'm gonna try though. Damn. Well, hold on. Maybe I can get it to do double edge again. Come on, do it. Aww. You're lame. That's gonna do nothing. And goodbye. Look at that. There's a spinner rack in chat if I'm trying to catch it. What? Vigoroth is evolving. Trying to learn swagger. Nah. But we're gonna teach you Hyper Beam. Okay. At least I hope we are. I'm assuming you can buy Hyper Beam. I don't really remember, to be honest. Okay, so Slaking's 98. Got it. Okay. Do-do-do. Alright, which one has the TMs? I always forget. I don't think it's this one. There's the X items. The B button got stuck. Weird. Okay, vitamins. Lady, get out of the way. Please tell me y'all have TMs. Okay, so those are the defensive ones. And here's the overpowered ones. And we need to go up, come on. And I know what people were thinking, getting rid of Slack Off is probably a bad call, but since we have to skip a turn anyway. Alright, we'll go heal up and then we'll switch over. Oh, Lucas, you missed it earlier. We did not Stream Raiders. We did marbles for a gifted sub. So that was fun. People had fun. Half the matches people fell off though, which was funny. It'd be like that though. Goodness gracious. I'm still waiting for the controller to load up. There we go. Okay, so where are we right now? That's right, we got Hyper Beam for Slaking. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I wanted to get some Pokemon in. Just a little bit. We're going to fight the gym leader. Least favorite workout. Ooh. I hate deadlifts. I hate lunges. Burpees are never fun. What else? I'm trying to think what else I'm not a huge fan of. I honestly say deadlift. Like, I don't mind RDL, Romanian deadlift, because you don't go down all the way. You only go, like, below your knees. But I feel like deadlift just puts such a strain on my back, you know? Core and cardio are mine. I get it. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to fight the gym leader. Afterwards, I will open up 2 more booster packs, and we'll do a wheel spin as well. Can't forget about those. Let me ask you, did you know? I should not be so coy. It was I who taught Wallace everything there is to know about Pokemon. Once, I had given up my position as gym leader. In my place, I had entrusted Wallace with the gym. However, a compelling reason arose for me to make a comeback. But enough chatter. Let us begin with our match, shall we? Please, you shall bear witness to our artistry. A grand illusion of water sculpted by Pokemon and myself. I do want to start running in the mornings again, though. I just needed to stop being icy out. Do-do-do.
When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go.
Slim, thank you for the biddies. Ah, that's such a pain, dude. Come on. There we go. So I can go brrr, and it is enough to kill. Awesome. We're going with Whiscash. Alright, we're gonna go with Breloom. There is an unknown in chat if I was trying to catch it. Tiny, what would it take to make you like it a little bit better? Just out of curiosity. Damn, that did less than I was hoping. Granted, I am 8 levels below, and I get that. That shouldn't do too much. Well, it's going to do a decent amount because of rain. I don't see how. I'm sorry, did you want the biddies to go to you? Is that what it is? Would that make you feel better? Honestly, I should probably just do a Leech Seed. I should have done Leech Seed. Do 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 do. Ah. Do 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 do. How did I go first this time? Do 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 do. Maybe it's a speed tie? Man, we got lucky with the not getting confused thing. Like, super lucky. I probably should have taken off the EXP share as well. I didn't even think about it. Alright, Celio. Could have stayed in for the fighting move, but I didn't want to really risk it. At the same time, I can't remember if Celio is part ice or not. Do 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 do. That's not good. I am 9 levels under, and I'm paralyzed. But so are you. Ha ha ha! Alright, Celio's gone. Crawdaunt. Best to switch out now. Alright, we're 10 levels under. You know what? You like using items. I shall use items as well. Do 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 do. I don't remember if they're more physical or special in terms of like defense. I did about a third. I think we have it. Lana, welcome in. How are you? You missed the, you missed marbles. But that's okay. But hopefully you're doing well. And we are doing 4 giveaways. Because the majority of the subs today were from Anonymous. Which is crazy. Alright, Kingdra. Here's the one everybody's dreading. Was building Lego with... Oh, cool! Did you finish? And if you want to show any pictures in the Discord, you are more than welcome to. 10 levels under. I'm just gonna go yawn and hope for the best. Good. That should make things a little easier. Alright, now I gotta do a double team times 2. Okay. No, you cheater, dude. +3 on evasion. This is going to be a pain. And I missed. +4 on evasion. We are just winging it here. Okay, so it has Ice Beam. Okay, we got a Hyper Beam. I don't think it's enough to kill, though. That's what the Chesto Berry was for. This is bad. +5. How's 11 next going? What did I miss besides marbles? We've gotten some Pokemon. We got Slay King today, which is good. Can I get a crit? That'd be awesome. I hate Juan's Kingdra. It is so annoying. It spams double team and then uses rest when it wants to. I think... What are we at right now? Let me see. We are currently at 98, and we started at 89. So we've gotten 9 Pokemon. Alright, it's maxed out on evasion. This is probably a wash, but I'm going to keep trying. So stupid. 9 is a good number to catch. It's not terrible, no. We'll put out Swampert, maybe. It'd be better if I could drop that speed too, but... Okay, we got an Ice Beam. If I could freeze, that would be sick. Evasion means nothing to Swampert. I don't know what to eat. Ate the same thing 2 nights in a row, or 2 nights running, and really can't be bothered making it 3 in a row. I don't know. I'm gonna use Carvana as a scapegoat to heal with. Well, what did you have, I guess, before we start suggesting stuff, you know? You know? Need to burn through those ice beams. He's done at least 6. I haven't been counting. I'm guessing that's 7. We'll go off the knowledge that that's 8. And we're frozen. And we're not. Nine? Come on, Swampert, you gotta hit. He might be out. Damn. I may need... Okay, so I think he's out of Ice Beam. I need to get Breloom in just to, do Leech Seed. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll go off. Can we freeze? Because that'd be sick. He didn't go for rest this time. God damn, chill. Never mind. Such an annoying Pokemon. Do 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 do. I'm gonna try 1 Leech Seed. And then I'm gonna go for the heal. Because, I wouldn't be able to tank a hit, I don't think. Okay, that helps a little. Come on, don't do a lot, don't do a lot. That's not good. Come on, I need you to hit Kingdra. I should have been counting Water Pulse too. Do do do. You know what? That's fine. I'm going to just max out my special. That's what we're gonna do. God, this is annoying. At least we're fully healed. That's gonna do barely anything now. Okay, we're at +4. Okay, we didn't max out, but I'm gonna see how much +4 does. If I can get a hit in, that'd be great. Yeah, that paralysis is a problem. Maybe I should get rid of it. Okay. Alright, so that was turn 1 for sleep. We got one more turn after that. There's a Porygon 2 in chat if Mel was trying to catch it. Look at that, we got the win. Who knew it just, you just needed to raise up your special high up, just enough to do it. Excellent, very well, you are the winner. From you, I sense the brilliant shine of skill that will overcome all. However, compared with me or even Wallace, you are lacking in elegance. Perhaps I should make you a loan of my outfit? I merely jest. Rather than my clothes, I shall reward you with this, the rain badge. You know, out of context. Having the rain badge shall assure you the full obedience of all your Pokemon to your every command. The rain badge will also allow the use of the HM move Waterfall to sail walls of cascading water. And, so that you never forget the battle we shared, take this. Yeah, anytime I see a horsey, I'll never forget. Okay, so we just got our 8th badge. I gotta turn my controller back on. Yep, that's them. Who are they playing against? I know it's not the Cowboys. Do 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 do. Kansas, the entire state. Just the whole. They're gonna go against the entire state of Kansas. Eagles v Kansas. Do do do. Guess I can close out that. Chiefs. Ah. Like Master Chief? That's not funny. Okay. I guess we need to go this way. Yes, we're gonna use dive. I thought it was the skins, but I think I'm wrong. I'm not a big fan. I just support. Understandable. It is Sports Ball weekend. Yeah, it's the Super Bowl today, actually. So I don't know how many people are actually going to be streaming tonight, you know? Hard to say. Luckily, I'm not a huge sports ball fan, and I'm streaming in the morning, so... At least y'all get some kind of Twitch. There's a Salandit and Shad if Mel wants to try and catch it. Oh, while I'm thinking about it. Thank you, Slayking, for reminding me. I'm not sure I can be arsed watching it. It's not my thing either. Trust me, I get it. Thank you for the epic unit. I'm gonna try and avoid trainers right now. Gen 3 living decks, yikes. I mean, we've done Gens 1 and 2. The plaques are on the wall. We're gonna be adding to them. But welcome in, Flameburger. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. I haven't even counted how many Pokemon are actually in Emerald to obtain. I should probably figure that out. At some point. Gens 1 and 2 are rough, but Gen 3 is a whole other beast. It is. It is. Luckily, we have all the components that we need. And we're not doing mythicals, so there's no Mew, there's no Celebi, there's no Jirachi or Deoxys. But it's the other 382 that we have to get. But we just got our 8th batch today, so that's fun. We need Waterfall. We need that one. It doesn't matter. We're not using Carvana at all, really. He's an HM user, so it's fine. I still watched it a couple years ago. It was fun, but I still didn't really understand what was going on. And the halftime show was unnecessary. The halftime show, it's an anomaly. Because it gives like music groups a way to like get out there and do stuff. It's a way to break up the game, you know, in half, which helps a lot. But a lot of the reason people watch the Super Bowl is for the commercials, which they usually get put on YouTube anyway. So that helps a little bit. Let's see. Right there. The commercials? Oh yeah. You know how much it costs to put a commercial in for the Super Bowl? It costs so much money. Not Spoink, it's Baltoy. Where's Baltoy? Okay, and those are for trades. For later. Okay. Right now, I think what I want to do is bust through Victory Road as fast as I can. And that way I'll have the other side opened up to where I can fly to it when I need to. Let's see. Who's on the team right now? I don't think we need Carvana anymore. At least for a long while. Who else was on the... I guess I didn't have another member of the team, did I? I just had a thought. Is the Metagross line gender neutral? Or do they have a gender? Because I have to get 3 of them. I can't remember. They might be gender neutral, which kind of sucks, because you can't breed them if they are. Yeah, that's going to be unfortunate. Well, I'm going to have to pull 3 different ones from... Or 2 others from a different game. Alright, who are we gonna work on in the meantime? I mean, we could work on Whismer. I think I was gonna work on Spoink, but maybe I should work on Whismer. Or maybe I should work on another Slakoth and get it turned into a Vigoroth. I think we'll do that. And I can't remember if there's anything in Victory Road that we need. It's Scat! You've clawed your way up to face the Pokemon League. I'm happy for you. You made my cheering worthwhile. If you were to become Pokemon Champion, I'll get in touch with you then. Okay, go for greatness. Alright. We probably already healed and I forgot about it already, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay. I forgot what all we need in here. Maybe I should check. Scroll down, Victory Road. Surf, Strength, Waterfall, and Flash. Wait, no. That's Gen 6. Surf, Strength, Flash, Rock Smash, and Waterfall. Okay, so we do need damn. Okay, can Carvana learn, you know what, wait a minute. Summary. Usually you can learn like 4 different moves. What do you have? Alright, Strength, Fly, Rock Smash. Alright, Strength and Rock Smash, and then we need Waterfall, we already have Surf, and we already have Strength. So we just need something with Waterfall, okay. I guess we're gonna keep using Carvana. Downer. I mean, I really would like to work on another Pokemon, but it's whatever, I guess. Okay. There are some Pokemon we need in here. I just realized, no, wait. Yeah, that'd be fine. What item do you have? Oh, the Quick Claw. I don't think we need the Quick Claw, but it's whatever. Okay, we need Hariyama. You're gonna do Whirlwind, aren't you? Now's my chance! Come on, Toriyama. You got these. I believe in you. Pog. That is 99. If I got my math right, we're over 25% there, which doesn't seem like a lot, but then you realize how many Pokemon there are in this. It takes a while. Okay, so I know we need 2 Lyron. What else do we need in here? Oh, you can catch Loudred. Okay. Honestly, catching Loudred will save me some time. That's not good if it does that. That's about right. Hey, how about letting me go? Jerk. Bum 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 bum. So I don't think we're taking on the Elite Four today, mostly because I am really under-leveled. So we'll use today to catch Pokemon and level up and stuff. Okay, so can't go that way. I'd rather save the trainer, but at the same time, I kind of need the experience. I'm gonna kill it just so I can level up. Pog. So we need 2 Lyron and 2 Loudred. If we can make that happen, that would be awesome. How about letting me go, kid? Bro, chill. Bruh. The Golbats are going to be a problem, aren't they? Well, at least we know a crit won't kill. Haha! Take that, bitch. Alright, Magneton. I have a ground move. Haha! You know it's really not good when the highest level of your Pokemon is 41. Yeah, it's not good at all. Muck's throwing up gang signs, look at that. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, maybe you should not do that. Thanks. Impossible, I lost? You're almost like shit and nearly invisible. This is true. Okay, there's Loudred. We do need Loudred. I'm gonna do Thunderbolt and hope it doesn't kill. Okay, we're good. Does not matter. Although I wish like Synchronize would pass over Confusion as well. That would be nice. But I get it. I do. Pog. Alright, so that is number 100. Look at that. We crossed in the triple digits. Can we get another one though? No, we don't need you anymore. We already got you. But I will kill you. You planning on using the... Yes. Yeah, I actually haven't been to the Safari Zone yet. I was waiting until after the Elite Four, because then more sides will open up. Which would be nice. Can't remember if there's an item down here or not. Another one? Another one. I guess this one is pretty common. So we're going to catch as many as we can in Emerald. And then we're going to flip over to Fire Red, I think. And then we're going to flip over to both of the GameCube games. I don't know which one we're going to do first. Nothing is to the extent of sorry, just curious. Well, there are some of the Johto Pokemon pop up. And we definitely need those. They are a pain to get though. The last time I did a Gen 3 living deck, or not a living deck, I just filled out the Pokedex. I guess I did a living dex before, but it was in my own time. I was just doing it just to have. And I cloned a bunch of the legendaries with Emerald, which was nice. And then I wiped the Fiho clean to do this. There's also an Electric in chat if anybody wants to try and catch it. Isn't Wally right here? I should probably heal Breloom real quick. Do, 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 do. And maybe swap Breloom for somebody else real quick. In the GameCube title, and since you need to go to the GameCube title anyway, you know, true. But since I'm already in Emerald, I wanted to get as much as I could from Emerald before I flipped over. And on top of that, the GameCube games, you only get like one of each copy of Pokemon. Whereas over here, you can get multiples, and you already have Ditto for breeding. Or at least I will after I beat the Elite Four. Damn, I was hoping that would have killed. We're not there yet. Understandable. Ooh, we got a miss. Okay. And we're not confused. And that is a dead Golbat. Is that level 36 Gardevoir, though? Why Fire Red, not Leaf Green? The main reason is because with Leaf Green, I think it's Leaf Green. It might be Fire. One of the two has all of my Pokemon on it. And I don't want to reset that file. And trading him over to the other game would be a pain. Yeah, here's Wally. So whichever of the two does not have all of the Pokemon on it, that's the one I'm gonna play. Altaria. I don't like you. And Wally's stronger than me. Oh, that's fine. You can do Safeguard. That's fine. I don't care. Slowpoke is an entirely exclusive. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to grab, you know, the exclusives from the other one. I just meant like a complete playthrough, you know? That's fine. I think that was just enough. Do an aerial ace again. Rude. Like, I'm gonna have to get some exclusives from Ruby and Sapphire also. Alright, Roselia. Let's flip over to Gardevoir. I don't want to deal with the fact that it could be faster than me. And get hit in the face with a Razor Leaf. There's a chance I was faster. I actually thought this out myself. Yeah, I mean, I have a rough idea of how I want to do it, but I haven't even gotten everything out yet. Delcatty, sure. Bare minimum, you need any two Hoenn games, both GameCube games, and Leaf Green. Okay. Luckily, we have all that. Luckily. Oh, good. I won't deal with Cute Charm. I will deal with regular Charm, but I won't deal with Cute Charm. Do-do-do-do-do-do. No. You don't get to do that. That's mean. Still not dead. I'm not dead yet. Rude. Well, plus side, I'm gonna swap out, and it's just gonna be regular poison instead of toxic. Oh yeah, definitely swapping out. Go slaking. I mean, I could do the Palmeg glitch and try and get the mythicals and stuff, but I'd be chancing it because you can actually break your save file. Jerk. Did Gen 3 work like that? I thought it was in Gen 1, the poison. Yeah, I mean, it just, it reverts back to regular poison, if I'm not mistaken. I think it only counts as toxic just in that specific battle. And if you swap out, it just becomes regular poison. Pog. Counter. Nah. I got a couple of heart skills. I can change stuff out if I need to. Going for Magneton. Oh yeah, some of the rules that I have for this challenge, I'm sticking to Pokemon that are like native to the gen. So I can't use anything from gens 1 or 2 for this game. Like obviously to level them up and stuff, I just mean for the main team. And no legendaries on the team either. It just wouldn't make it as fun. You are strong after all. I am strong. I couldn't beat you today, but one of these days, I'll catch up to you. Really? So it still counts as toxic. I kind of want to put that to the test. I was always under the impression if it swapped out, it's just regular poison. But I guess we'll find out. Okay. That's fine. Alright, let's count the numbers. I'm pretty sure it won't have any poison attacks. So, okay, we were at 89. Okay, so it did 5. That's fine. Yeah, I guess it is still. Huh. You learn something new every day. I guess I've never just tested it long enough to try it out. When did you become faster than me? That's crazy, though. You know, oh, I do. I was just testing it out to see what would happen. I wanted to see if I could prove a website wrong. And I can't. Wait, it's not increasing a lot like it normally would, though. I feel like I should have died way sooner. Who knows? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's only effect spore, yeah. Remember, hidden abilities didn't exist until... Is it Platinum? Is that when they started popping up? It wasn't even just Gen 4 in general. I think it was just one game. Okay, it's not a hidden... Oh, well. Listen, I don't know everything about Pokemon, alright? Clearly. Alright, well, we got through the Wally fight. That's the important thing. Hidden abilities were from Dream World. It's not a hidden... Admittedly, I didn't... Oh, God. I don't know the map. I never really fully grasped hidden abilities until, like, way later. Let's see. Victory Road. Emerald. Emerges. I think it's this one. Which one did I just go in? Okay, so we're over here. So one leads to here. Okay. Unless, for whatever reason, the Brontosaurus can learn Flash. Dreamworld was the online service for Gen 5. Hey, look, it can. So that was... I thought they learned it in Platinum, though. I guess they didn't. By doing minigame and grinding, you could get rare items or Pokemon with hidden abilities. Okay. Most of my knowledge for hidden abilities is from Renegade Platinum. That's really it. And that was a brutal challenge as like... Oh good, I didn't die. That was too much of a brutal challenge as it was. How many resets did we do before we finished that Nuzlocke? Way too many. It was like 15 or something. Okay, I still need the map. That leads to the staircase. Wait, there's an item. Full restore. I mean, I don't really need it though. This one is... Wait, I'm kind of lost. Hold on. Okay, now I know where I'm at. That Dream World thing, that was on the 3DS, right? We still haven't seen Lyron yet. I need him. I better be careful because there's still trainers I have to fight. Oh, it was a Gen 5 thing. So it wasn't a... Oh, I'm thinking of the Dream Radar. That's what I'm thinking of, I bet. That was on the 3DS, right? Do not do roar. Whatever you do, do not do roar. There's also a Ralton chat if I was trying to catch it. Damn it! I freaking knew it. And there's a trainer right here. Which I should have known had I just looked. It was 3DS software for Black White 2. Okay. And that's how you got the genies to like change form, right? Or something. Not cosmic power. You're just you're drawing out this fight. Come on now. Admittedly, during Gen 5, I fell off Pokemon for a while. I wasn't a huge fan of it back then. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking Distortion World instead of Dream World. That's what I'm thinking of. Theory forms were exclusive to that app until later games where they were added an item to switch. Yeah, it was like in Gen 6, you could go talk to somebody and get the item or something. Some kind of mirror, I don't know. Something like that. Nice, Tiny, you got it. Excuse me. The blah blah something mirror. Yeah, that one. Okay, we're 37. Good. Okay, so this leads to staircase 2. Which puts us right next to an item. Okay. I didn't know Mawile was in this game. Okay. Well, good. Oh, my controller reset. I was like, why am I not doing anything? You should be able to tank this, right? Perfect. A lot of people fell off in Gen 5. Went through another backlack phase. What is backlack? Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, backlash. Yeah, it did. The irony is I got it like a couple weeks before it was released. So I got to try it out and everything. But it just wasn't... I don't know. I got to Mistralton City or town. And I got to the tower where you can get Lampet and stuff. And I don't know, I just all of a sudden it just like a switch flipped and I just didn't want to play anymore. Come on, my wall is gonna be 101. We're gonna do this. Why am I loafing around? I haven't even done anything. Where's Charizard and Pikachu? Yeah. But Pikachu was in post-game, right? Like, didn't the rest of the Pokemon pop up in post-game? Come on. Get in the ball. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 101. Mawile. I gotta find Mawile. There we go. Do 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 do. Got a PP up. Fun. Project, but I think Black One was the only game where you can't catch Pikachu. Interesting. I guess I should have hopped over that fence. Okay, Lyron. Don't go anywhere. Kind of wish I had just leveled up until I got Spore, but... Okay, we're gonna do Mega Drain. That barely did anything. You know what? We're just gonna go for it. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for it. 1, 2. Damn it. That's fine. Come on. Come on, baby. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 102. Wait, where's that map at? I need the map. Oh, we are supposed to hop the fence. Well, what do you know? another Lyron. Can you stay put? Don't roar. That'd be great. Just saying. I wonder if Mach Punch would kill. Half tempted to try. Tempted to try. Let's find out. It doesn't. Good. That's fine. Come on. Get in the ball. That thing where Toxic lingers after battle, apparently that's only in Gen 3. In Gen 4 onward, it stays toxic if you switch, but becomes poison after the battle ends. Gotcha. Okay, so we won't have to worry about that when we get to Sinnoh and back to Johto. Okay, so we got the Lyrons, so we're good with that. Oh, I think this is set for whatchamacallit. Ruby and Sapphire, because like there's a list of Pokemon over here, and it says Sableye is exclusive to Sapphire and Mawile is exclusive to Ruby, but we just found a Mawile, which tells me this was done before Emerald, which is fine. Okay, so we're right here. We need to hop the fence. But Hariyama, I don't need you. Go away. I should probably heal up. That would probably be the smart call. It's rare, but still obtainable. And luckily we got it, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so this put us even further down. Okay, 5 goes there, 6 goes where? 6 goes right there. Perfect. Okay, yeah, we're in the right area. Sableye, go away! We already got you. Sableye needs an evolution, I feel like. You got a Mega, yes. There's a trainer here. I don't like this. I don't like this. Slash. Do 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 do. All right, surf. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, Tropius will stay in. Hopefully we're faster. And hopefully this one-shots. That's not good. Oh, we're fine. Never mind, we're dead. It's based on an alien, maybe make an evolution more extraterrestrial. That is true. Although they do already have an alien in Gen 5, so it would have to be something else. I should have just gone for Ice Beam. That was very dumb of me. Very, very dumb. Yeah, Beheum and Elegum, or however you pronounce it. Die, you stupid Brontosaurus. Damn it. Because I wanted to conserve PP, look what happened. Look what I did. I lost my Swampert, and I'm sad. And now I'm gonna be paralyzed. Because this game hates me. The poor Brontosaurus. No wonder it went extinct. It pissed people off. And 9 tails, which is unfortunate. Tropius had a cool concept, though. Go brrr. Hyper Beam looks best in Gen 2, I feel like. You're better than me. I mean, I don't want to brag, but last Hyper Potion, we gotta make it count. Okay, so for this, all right, what is D? It's a max repel. Wait, where's staircase 4? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go get that. I mean, I'm gonna get the max repel for funsies, but I want the other item. It's Psychic. Might come in handy later. Okay. Alright, we'll do a full heal. I guess I could just revive Breloom. Yeah, give me that. Give me that, give me that. Honestly, I did not know that was in Victory Road. Now I do. I've done so many challenges in this game and stuff, and it's like you kind of end up forgetting about the actual stuff. Do something dumb. That's not what I meant. That's really not what I meant. We can't get to 7. Okay. So there's legit only one way to go. It's down the waterfall to 5. Which brings us back up to 2nd floor. I didn't know there were trainers here. Those were not there in Ruby and Sapphire, apparently. There's a electric in chat if anybody wants to try and catch it. Not a good matchup, not a good matchup, not a good matchup. Ah. No, let me go. I just need to go heal, man. Bro. Dudes. I took 2 steps. Well, look who's back. Okay, whatever you're gonna do, miss your attack or something. Oh my god. You're just mad because Breloom's cooler than you are. I like how this boulder is just here as a scapegoat. Oh, Lana, you're out of Pokeballs. I didn't even notice. Okay, we're gonna try again. God, Lyron's just rude, dude. Okay, so we're back on the first floor. Okay, there is one trainer we gotta deal with, it looks like. Maybe. Yeah, there is. All the screaming guys. Nope. Master Starks, welcome in. How are you? I am the only one who eats. It'd be like that. Cacturn. Dark grass. Chilling at work. Nice. That's the best way to do it. I need water. I'm out of water. Oh. God. Oh no. You know what, we're just gonna... No! Well, Psychic just died. What a butt. I might be in trouble here. I think I'm just gonna have to go Swampert and hope for the best. Maybe. At least Ice Beam won't miss. So close. Yeah, there's the grass move. I knew it was coming. It was a risk. Yeah. I'm not really sure what to do here now. I mean, I guess I just revive Slay King. I don't know. You know what? No, I take it back. My only weakness. No, a leaf! Okay, if we can do at least half, we should be good. But you are also 9 levels ahead of me, so we'll see. Oh, you know what? I'll take a crit too. That works. I'll take it. It's Polyper. Swampert needs to, or never touches grass. This is true. Sometimes you do need to get out and touch grass, though. Okay, are good, right? You know what? I should have known. They always go protect first. Pog. Okay, how many more you got? 'Cause I really need to go heal. Thank God. Thank you, Edgar. I'm glad that I wasn't running, because I would have... Oh yeah, I forgot your birthday's coming up. It's been a minute. You doing anything exciting for it? Also, can we get a shout out for Master Starks, please? I'm gonna do Mega Drain. If you're not following Master Starks, please drop a follow. Recently hit 50 followers and going for affiliate. You're doing a spa day? I've never been to a spa. Fine, I just won't heal my Pokemon. It's whatever. I'm gonna die in this cave. But they do the Pew Pews and some other games. A variety streamer of sorts. Get me out of this damn cave, I swear. Thank God. Ugh. I made it. You know, next time stock up on healing items. That's the way to go. Okay, let's heal up. Oh, that's even more fun. Enjoy that. Alright, no more kids. Yeah, I get that. Okay, we got 50 Ultra Balls. We got 20 Hyper Potions. I think we're good on revives for now. Okay, so we have a little bit of time left. We're gonna do String Raiders in a little over a minute. What other Pokemon can we go after? Let me look at the Elite Four or Victor. We only got one Loudred, so we do need another. So we can hump at least one more. 0 is already too much for me. Honestly, I'm on the fence about having kids. I really am. I'm sure I would make a great dad, but I mean, let's face it, I can barely support myself. I said Loudred, not Whismur. Get out of my face. In fact, hold that thought. I'm also a fence sitter on that topic. Yeah, Tiny likes to sit on fences a lot. It be like that. Okay, 105 on attack stat. Eh. When do you get Sky Uppercut? You do with Breloom, right? I feel like you do. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save real quick. Go ahead and X that out. Okay, so we're still looking for Loudred. We need one more. I think that crosses out Victory Road Pokemon. I said Loudred, not Lyron. Check your privilege. But you know what? That's fine. I dare you to roar again. I mean, I dared him. Sure. I can also go to Shoal Cave, which I guess I should. But I want to get Lyron or Loudred first. There we go. Hey, we beat one! Come on. Honestly, this is the noise that I feel like they're making when they roar. I think this is it. Oh. That's the noise, right? Okay, we're not gonna fight Hariyama. Just not worth. Do give me. Stop giving me Pokemon I don't need. Bruh. Ooh, thank you for the contribution to Breath of the Wild Master Mode Challenge. That is a tongue twister, I gotta tell you. I don't know how close we are on that, but I guess we can look into that on Tuesday when we play Majora's Mask. Hey, can you like not? Thank you. Did the stream freeze? I hope not. Is it frozen for anybody else? Do. I'm gonna head out. Good luck on your Dex quest. All right, Flameburger, thank you for being here. Have a great day. Hopefully we'll catch you another time. There's Loudred. We need you. No, I don't think it froze. You may need to refresh or something. We'll do Mega Drain. Please don't have roar. That's fine. Alright, come on. I got 50 Ultra Balls and 13 minutes. We got this. Well, really 10 minutes. We still gotta do the giveaways. Okay, so there's both Loudred, so we're good on Victory Road, I think. Do we have Barboach and Whiscash? Maybe this will be faster to check. Nope. Are they in here is the question, because there is water. They are. Okay. We need to go to the water. I guess the repel would not really do me any good right now. Do do do. Do 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 do. Okay, so Barboach is 80% and Whiscash is 20%. There's a chance I can get them both before we're done today. I have a vague idea where I'm at, but I still have the map up, so I could just use that. Okay, that way. I see it. I seen it. Oops. Doo-doo. There's an Ekans in chat if I was trying to catch it. Yeah, we just go straight up from here. Okay. And then we're gonna pop up on that little island and we'll be able to fish. Which would be great, because that's what we need to do. Ah, the trainers, go away. I'm not interested. That's the bike. Here we go. There's only 2 Pokemon that can pop up on the Super Rad. I would like Barboach first, or Whiscash first, but it's gonna be Barboach because it's an 80% chance. It just be like that. Okay, Mach Punch first. It has Snore for some reason. I've never heard a fish snore. It's interesting. This will be 103, I believe. Easy. 103. 102. Barboach. Yes, 103. Okay. So we need Whiscash. Or a high enough level for a Barboach that I can just level it up once. And it'll evolve. Come on. Well, that was convenient. That'll work. Okay, so Barboach was able to tank a Mach Punch, so you definitely should be able to. Also trying to snore. Don't crit. Okay, I mean crit's fine, but don't do that. Okay, but why though? Tempted to do Mega Drain, but it may kill. I don't really know. Alright, I'm going to do one more Mach Punch, and then we're going to go for the Ultra Ball. 1. Poopy. Come on, get in the ball. 1. Damn it. I did not want this to take forever. Alright, we're gonna try a Mega Drain and see what happens. It's only like base 40. Okay, we're good. So let's try an Ultra Ball one more time. Pog. That would be 104. Okay, so we're done here. Tell me I have an escape rope. I don't think I do, actually. Oh, I do. Okay, good. I might stock up on a couple of them. So, what I'm gonna do now, we're gonna fly over to, Moss Deep. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So next week, what we're gonna do, we're gonna catch a couple of Pokemon in the cave up north, and then we're gonna take on the Elite Four. We're gonna level up and take on the Elite Four, and that's kind of the big goal for next week. Alright, I want to thank everybody for being here. It's been an amazing stream. I did have a lot of fun with Pokemon Emerald. We're making progress. We're making progress. Thank you for all the follows, the biddies, and the subs that we got today. Y'all are awesome, and I will see y'all later. Bye, guys.